Welcome. This is the Department of Chemistry at DCS. Today, I'm going to give you a brief demo on how you can prepare 0.01 mole per dm cube potassium dichromate. Precisely how to prepare 250 ml of 0.01 mole per dm cube potassium dichromate. Here in the lab, we have everything. We are preparing it from scratch. This is the manufacturer's product container, potassium dichromate. Is potassium dichromate. We have a deionized or distilled water here. This is a 250 ml volumetric flask. This is deionized water. This is a beaker, 200 ml beaker, glass beaker. This is the glass rod. This is a funnel. And this is the spatula. And we have the balance there. And this is the filter paper. In this procedure, having done the calculation on the required mass of the potassium dichromate, the first thing we do in the laboratory is, having assembled everything, the first thing we do here is we need to measure 0.74 gram of potassium dichromate. Use our filter paper. This is the spatula, and we measure 0.74 gram of potassium dichromate. On the balance, we must be at 0,0. It's on 0 at 0,0. Now we need to take part of the potassium dichromate. This is potassium dichromate. Okay, we now have our value. We now transfer it into the container. Put about 100 ml of deionized water into the glass beaker to dissolve it. Use your glass rod to turn it until it is completely dissolved. It is fully dissolved. Now, we have to transfer it into the 250 ml volumetric flask. Make sure all of the potassium dichromate that have been dissolved get into the volumetric flask. Now, you have to make up the solution to the 250 volumetric flask mark by filling it, by making up with the distilled water or deionized water. Okay. To bring it up to the mark, we need to use drop it wisely. Okay. Now, use a dropping pipette to make sure it gets to the point. And right now, we have now a solution. We now have a uniform solution of 250 ml of 0.01 potassium dichromate. This is the solution. 250 ml of 0.01 mole per dm cube potassium dichromate that have been prepared in the laboratory. We can now label it. We can now label it as a 0.01 molar. We can now label it at 0.01 molar. I cock it and put it in a fume cupboard for future or subsequent lab work. Open the fume cupboard. You have to open the fume cupboard. Now, among other solutions, you can keep it here in the fume cupboard for the lab work. Then you close back the fume cupboard. And that is done. You preserve it there, and when you want to use it, you can use it that as a stock solution. A recap. To prepare 250 ml of 0.01 mol per TN cube potassium dichromate in the lab, the first thing is you need to use a filter paper and weigh the 0.74 gram of the potassium dichromate on a balance. Use a beaker, a glass beaker, put it inside, put some deionized water, about 100 ml, use the glass rod, make sure it is well dissolved, transfer it through the funnel into the 250 ml volumetric flask, fill it up using the deionized water to the mark, label it and preserve it in a fume cupboard for subsequent lab activities. Thank you very much.